panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
660 AM The Answer. KSKY in Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio. I'm Pam Puso. Terrorism hasn't been ruled out in the crash of an Egypt Air flight from Paris to Cairo, but answers are hard to come by since the wreckage hasn't been found.
If it was a bomb, every explosion leaves its own unique signature, like dimples, burn marks, and gas remnants, clues only the wreckage would hold.
Fox's Trace Gallagher, because of the crash, security at Los Angeles International Airport is being stepped up. In Phoenix, Arizona,
we lost a hero. We lost an outstanding member of our community.
Police Chief Joe Yana remembering Officer David Glasser, the father of two who was shot by a burglary suspect yesterday, has died of his injuries. A major highway that runs through Oklahoma City is closed indefinitely because of a bridge collapse. Nobody was hurt. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat arenas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboat, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Saturday mornings at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6640, online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Today, how to incorporate your business in just 10 minutes so you won't lose everything if you get sued. Step 1, stop putting it off. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business tomorrow, it's not just your business at risk. You can lose everything: your home, your car, even your life savings. Step 2, call the following number for a free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. 1-800-500-1804. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. That number again is 1-800-500-1804. Step 3, congratulate yourself. By taking just 10 minutes to incorporate your business or form an LLC, you protected your home, your car, and your life savings. And that is how you incorporate your business in just 10 minutes. But hurry while they're still giving away these 10-minute incorporation guides for free. Call 1-800-500-1804. That's 1-800-500-1804.
This is an important message for all homeowners. Protect your home against termites and the expensive damage they can cause. Stay tuned for an important offer from Terminix. We're offering a free termite inspection to every homeowner who calls this special toll-free number, 1-800-200-6350. Terminix is the nation's leading provider of termite and pest control services, backed by more than 85 years' experience. We are your most effective solution for termite protection. We'll stop those damaging invaders in their tracks. We can also defend your home against future invasions and the damage they may cause with our ultimate protection guarantee. If they come back, so will we. Now is the time to defend your home before termites start causing expensive damage. It's your home, not theirs. So call Terminix today for a free termite inspection. 1-800-200-6350. That's 1-800-200-6350.
Ultimate protection guarantee not available on every plan. Limitations apply. Call for details.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems, wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Know-how! When you pick up an Evercraft 26-piece screwdriver set for $19.99 at Napa, you're not just getting 26 beautiful chrome-plated instruments. You're getting something that shows the world if there's a problem, you've got 26 ways to tackle it. That's $19.99 for a 26-piece screwdriver set and 26 ways to show you're the man for any job that requires screwdrivers. That's Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 5/31/16.
660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Before we leave Egypt to air 8:04, I want to talk to you about Robert Gates. You know, he's quite a guy. Former chancellor at Texas A&M, and of course, defense secretary, and on and on and on. He is one of the heaviest people. I'm not talking about from a standpoint of weight. I'm talking about from a standpoint of just unbelievably talented people that join us here on the Wells Report. This is what he had to say today regarding the United States ISIS mission. You need to hear about this. President Obama's former defense secretary Robert Gates accused the White House today of semantic backflips for refusing to use the word combat to describe U.S. troops' fight against Islamic State. This in the wake of yet another casualty. I think it's incredibly unfortunate not to speak openly about what is going on, Gates said on Morning Joe on MSNBC. He continued, American troops are in action. They are being killed. They are in combat. These semantic backflips to avoid using the term combat is a disservice to those who are put out there risking their lives on the line. Gates speculated the reason for avoiding the term is political, as it fits the narrative that combat operations in Iraq have ended. He said current Defense Secretary Ash Carter acknowledges the troops are in combat, and that's unfortunate the White House can't do the same thing. Carter indeed confirmed earlier this month the military had suffered a combat death after Special Warfare Operator First Class Charles Keating IV, a U.S. Navy SEAL, was killed near Erbil, Iraq, by ISIS fire. He was the third American service member to die in combat in Iraq since the start of the campaign against ISIS. But asked May 3rd about the casualty and whether it was an indication U.S. forces are getting closer to combat, White House Press Secretary Josh I'm anything but earnest drew a distinction. While saying Carter's terminology of a combat death was accurate, Ernest also said more than 4,000 U.S. troops in Iraq do not have a combat mission, as if that mattered. You see, this kind of Orwellian doublespeak, this kind of gobbledygookian crap, is anti-American. One of the reasons why America has been so successful is because we can look you in the face and tell you the truth. We don't do that much anymore, do we? Well, except on this broadcast. I like Robert Gates. He's a tough interview, though. You better be on your A game. When he shows up, he's serious. Just ask him a question and hush. You are listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer. A Fox News poll is out. More American voters trust Donald Trump to do a better job than Hillary Clinton on the issue most say will decide their vote this year, the economy. Clinton, on the other hand, tops Trump in other key areas, including foreign policy and nuclear weapons. How could this be? This is according to a new Fox News national poll on the top issues in the 2016 election. Relatively few voters, 26%, say they are better off now compared to before President Barack Obama took office. So it should be no surprise that about 4 voters in 10, Democrats and Republicans alike, say the economy will be the issue that decides their vote for president. No other issue comes close. Here's how the others rank. First, the economy, 39%. 14% say national security will be the most important thing in their vote. 10% each for education and healthcare. 8% each for immigration and social issues, such as abortion and gay marriage. The latest headlines in the voters trust Trump to do a better job than the top 2. He bests Clinton by 12 points in both the economy and in terrorism. The poll released today was conducted prior to news of the Egypt Air flight from Paris to Cairo crashing in the Mediterranean Sea. Meanwhile, Clinton has the edge on social issues, education, foreign policy, health care, and immigration. This, by the way, the vote of confidence for foreign policy happened before Josh Rogan wrote this particular article in Bloomberg today. One of Hillary Clinton's top priorities as president would be to use sanctions to pressure North Korea to negotiate limits on its nuclear program, according to Clinton's top foreign policy advisor. Listen carefully. The strategy would mimic the Obama administration's approach to Iran. Jake Sullivan, the head of Clinton campaign's foreign policy advisory team, was one of 2 officials who began secret negotiations with Iran in 2012 that eventually resulted in the nuclear agreement that Iran struck last summer with 6 world powers. He told an audience Monday evening at the Asia Society in New York that Clinton is planning a similar strategy to deal with North Korea's nuclear program. I don't know why she would adopt the same strategy. North Korea already has a nuclear weapons program. Why would she want to adopt a strategy that would make a nuclear weapons program possible, like the one President Obama has put in place in Iran? It's a mess. It's an absolute dead nuts mess. Drives me crazy. Absolutely drives me nuts. Anyway, all of this, Trump is the candidate voters believe will do a better job telling the truth to the American people, managing tax dollars, and restoring trust in government. Good. Trust of the candidates is about equal when it comes to using military force. Nominating Supreme Court justices, Clinton is a little bit better than Trump in that. And encouraging values you believe in. By the way, nominating Supreme Court justices came out before yesterday's list of 11 from Donald Trump. That was a superb list. Immigration is a singular issue for Trump. More voters not only trust Clinton to handle it, but she's also picked by a 35% margin or a 35-point margin on representing the views of Latinos. Okay. Nearly 1 in 5, 17%, say agreeing on immigration issues is a deal breaker for them when deciding their vote for president. That increases to 29% among Hispanic and Latino voters. But who would voters trust with the nuclear codes? That's Clinton by 11 points, 49 to 38. Sure. Okay. And of course, this, by the way, it's a Fox News poll, so you sort of wonder who they were talking to. From the beginning of the campaign, Trump said he would build a wall against the U.S.-Mexico border. People believe him by a 54 to 42% margin. Voters think Trump truly will build the wall by 50 to 44%. They believe he will forcibly deport illegal immigrants. Those who plan to vote for Trump, 66% are more likely than Clinton supporters, 46%. to think he'll build a wall. At the same time, Trump voters, 43%, are less likely than those backing Clinton, 60%, to think he'll forcibly deport illegal immigrants. Overall, voters are more likely than not to believe that Trump will nominate a conservative to the Supreme Court, 65 to 22%, and ban non-U.S. Muslims, 58 to 37%. Okay, so 1,021 randomly chosen registered voters nationwide was conducted under the joint direction of Anderson Robbins Research, Shaw Company Research, and the poll has a margin of sampling area plus or minus 3 percentage points. So there you go. While we're on this topic, we cannot ignore John Podhoretz. He is a writer for the New York Post. The idea that people in the news media can actually speak the truth in a plain and forthright fashion seems to be spreading far and wide. As John Podhoretz said it this way, Hillary is running a painfully stupid campaign. It may be a painfully stupid campaign, but John, the only people that are paying any attention to the fact that it's a painfully stupid campaign and actually reporting it are people like you and I. Okay? We're the only ones. Everybody else is looking at this and listening to the media saying, well, this is the way it's done. This is the way you run a campaign. No, it's not the way you run a campaign at all. And I have absolutely no doubt about the fact that, by the way, overall in this Fox News poll, Trump is more likely to be the next president of the United States than Hillary. That is something that's very, very bad to be happening now before the conventions. It's like the American people are making up their mind. And for the first time today, I heard an entire diatribe from Democrats who are talking never Hillary. These are people who are either have voted for Bernie Sanders. These are the people I've been talking about. Bernie Sanders voters who are voting for Bernie because he is not Hillary Clinton. They have no interest in seeing a socialist government. What they're doing is they're trying to support anybody but Hillary. Remember when I told you that the Democrat Party has the exact same problems with establishment politicians as the Republicans? Isn't it interesting that quite logically and perhaps very possibly those people in the Democrat Party that feel that the establishment have let them down will choose the exact same remedy, and that would be Donald Trump. Another primary night for the Democrats, another difficult night for Hillary, who's almost certainly going to be the Democrat nominee, even though a great many Democrats are determined to make that as difficult as possible. She squeaked out a victory over Bernie Sanders in Kentucky, a state she won by 35 points in 2008. Wow. Many Democrats are disenchanted with her ideologically, but that's not the only reason she's suffering. Hillary is a politician in the John Kerry mold. She does inexplicably self-destructive things without actually having an impetuous, id-driven, self-destructive streak. Oh, yeah? That's where I disagree with Podhoretz. She is driven by anger. She is driven by anger and what I think she believes should be endless entitlement. That's a bad combination. Who else but a tone-deaf mumbler would have spoken the insanely infectious words? What word are you talking about, John? We are going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. That destroyed her in West Virginia, made Kentucky hard for her to win on Tuesday night. Yeah. We all know she wants to sell herself to environmentalists, but surely she could have found a way to do so without celebrating the elimination of working-class jobs during the populist resentment Olympics that constitute the 2016 election cycle. Surely this has to be counted among the dumbest self-inflicted political errors of our time. But forget that recent boner. How about the fact that she took giant speaking fees from banks and hedge funds on Wall Street in 2013 and 2014, knowing full well she was about to run for president in a party that hates banks and hedge funds and Wall Street, and did so, moreover, when it was money she didn't need, given that her family net worth was something north of $100 million. Just imagine if she had denied Sanders that issue by never having taken the money in the first place. His candidacy might never have taken off had it not been for the way he hammered her over her refusal to release the texts of her Goldman Sachs speeches. Yeah, John Podhoretz has got his finger on the pulse of what's actually going on. Hillary Clinton is running a bumblingly stupid campaign. There is no doubt about it, but you're not going to hear about it in the mainstream media because the mainstream media desperately wants her to be elected, which is the huge problem in this otherwise painfully silly presidential campaign chase for 2016. The real issue is that there is no news. There is no news that actually reports what's going on in Hillary's life. It's sad and it's sick. And it's a daily occurrence in the United States of America. Well, except on this broadcast, where shovels are indeed called shovels. It's what we do. You're listening to The Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Patriot Mobile, a conservative company created to fight for conservative candidates and causes. Do you want a cell phone company with some values? I'm betting your current cell phone company doesn't have the same values you do. Certainly not politically. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report. I've been telling you about Patriot Mobile for a while now. 5% of every dollar spent goes towards conservative values and candidates and is the only counterbalance to the hundreds of millions of dollars big cell phone companies will spend on liberal causes. You've been listening, but it's time to make the switch. Let me give you a couple of reasons of why you should ditch your current cell phone company right now and move to Patriot Mobile. First, a free iPhone 6 with a $60 a month plan. Second, Patriot Mobile is proud to hire veterans and active duty spouses. You cannot beat a company who supports this great nation and those who serve it. Join the revolution. Call Patriot Mobile today, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or go to patriotmobile.com. That's 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-272-8746, or go to patriotmobile.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Debbie Georgatos. Liberals focus on income inequality, but that's just an outcome of the real problem, which is education inequality. This week, we'll talk with Senator Jim DeMint of Heritage Foundation and Stacey Hawk of Texas Public Policy Foundation about solutions that offer our poorest fellow citizens quality education. Join me on Ladies Can We Talk this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer or online at ladiescanwetalk.org. On Ladies Can We Talk, we talk truth about America.
Spring cleaning time, man, out with the old and in with the new. It's when we all take a walk around the house and look at all of those things that have deteriorated over the last 5 months. We're all cave dwellers at heart. The ideal situation is to make your cave as airtight as possible. The way that you do that is with vinyl replacement windows. You come in, you pull out those leaky old windows. One of the things about Texas is it is just miserably hot sometimes. One of the greatest things you can do is make it to where that heat just stays outside. There has absolutely never been a better time to invest in yourself and your home instead of the electric company. My name is Dave Trainer, and the name of my company is The Window Connection. I would value the opportunity to come to your home and let you know what new vinyl replacement windows can really do to help you and your family.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Welcome back, summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in the Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it. AmericanStandardAir.com.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, We're giving away free trials of new Biotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-500-1734. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of new Biotics away for free. 1-800-500-1734. That's 1-800-500-1734. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-500-1734.
We have an extra special free Money Matters retirement seminar 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building on Dallas Parkway in Plano. Learn to grow your portfolio when possible while protecting it from a stock market crash. Find out what you can do to help prevent outliving your assets. Learn 5 strategies to reduce income taxes, the best time to take Social Security, how to plan for inflation, and so much more. Don't miss it. Please reserve your seat at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Oh! You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Yeah. It seems as though Donald Trump is moving to the front of this chase a little bit too soon for Hillary's comfort. That is something that I have not seen for a while. Typically, somebody like Hillary Clinton, especially where Donald Trump would be involved, would be far ahead under circumstances that would be in normal election cycles. This is decidedly different. But the interesting thing to me is what's going to happen to all of those Bernie Sanders voters when Bernie isn't there, because that is clearly what's going to happen. There are a couple of things that are in the offing. One, ugliness at the Democrat convention. That Democrat convention in Philadelphia has the potential to be really super ugly because the Democrat Party is being run by people who are essentially Hillary sycophants. Deborah Wasserman Schultz, and there are 4 other women in the major leadership positions in the Democrat Party are essentially throwing everything to Hillary. All of the superdelegates. I don't know that Bernie Sanders has any superdelegates. But she is some 94 delegates away from owning the whole thing. What will happen to the Bernie Sanders voters? I would assume that probably somewhere in the vicinity of 25 to 30% of Bernie Sanders voters are honest to goodness, no kidding, socialists that can hardly wait for the socialist worker paradise that Bernie Sanders is promising. But that leaves 70% of the voters. What are they going to do? Some will probably, I would say probably another 20% or so, will probably vote for Hillary. Some will stay home. The kids, half the kids will stay home, half the Hispanics will stay home. Who does that leave? A lot of people say it leaves the Blue Dog Democrats that elected Ronald Reagan. Well, it could be. But for the first time today, I did see voters from the Democrat side saying, Donald Trump represents something important to me, something different. It was amazing. You could hear the same things being said by Republican voters that were they had an absolute belly full of establishment Republican politics. They were saying exactly the same things. What we have done is we have seen a sea change in American voter ideas and attitudes, all brought about by these smarter than you professional politicians who essentially politic themselves right out of business. That is exactly what happened. And these people are done with them. Now, what does that mean? What does all that mean? Well, if what I suspect is going to be the case, that a substantial portion of anti-Hillary Democrat voters are going to vote for Donald Trump, that means that conservative voters that are going to stay home because they just won't do it will probably watch Donald Trump get elected anyway by Democrats. And if that's the case, who do you suppose Donald Trump is going to pay attention to? Conservatives or those Democrats that are responsible for putting him in office? This is the Wells Report.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a real estate investor association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, obtain no money, no credit financing, meet local buyers, sellers, and investing partners, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitch man. Come network with local DFW area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. at the Embassy Suites by Hilton on Bass Pro Drive in Grapevine. And you can register to attend for free by calling 800-867-4028. This month's topic, top investor mistakes and how to avoid them. Call 800-867-4028. Write it down. That's 800-867-4028 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the DFW Real Estate Investor Association.
There's a real freedom in paying off credit card debt. You open the mailbox without facing a pile of bills. Open your paycheck without worrying about all the people you owe. Avant can help you get there by consolidating your credit card debt into one unsecured personal loan. One loan, one monthly payment. Just go to avantoffer.com and check your rate. Checking your rate is risk-free with no effect on your FICO score. Complete your application in minutes, and the funds could be in your account as soon as tomorrow. Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after you make your first payment on time. For this offer and to check your rate risk-free, go to avantoffer.com and enter the promo code BORROW. That's AVANT offer.com, promo code BORROW. Avantoffer.com, promo code BORROW. Loans made by WebBank. Funds are generally deposited via ACH for delivery next business day if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers more than 100 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-400-8796. That's 1-800-400-8796.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserve in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 100 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-400-8796. That's 1-800-400-8796.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know, one of the highest compliments a company could receive is just one word: integrity. Now, it's a word we don't throw around lightly, and a word we don't just give to ourselves. Now, you have to earn the right to be labeled with the word. DFW have spoken. Integrity Roofing. Now, when I want work done on my home, I obviously want it done right, but deep down, all I want is for that company to be a company that I can trust, one that's going to treat me like a human being and not a dollar sign. Now, at Integrity Roofing, well, that's the name of their game, integrity. Integrity Roofing will always be there for you, as those spring and summer hailstorms approach and to literally protect your roof right over your head. Now, Integrity Roofing wants to be the name that you trust to make sure that your home looks as good as new after any storm. I trust them. You can trust them. Go to their website, integrityroofingcompany.com. That's integrityroofingcompany, one word.com today. And when you're looking for a roofer, there's only one name to look for, and that's Integrity. Integrity Roofing.
Let Nothing Bundt Cakes help make your commencement celebration a one-of-a-kind. After all their hard work, your graduate deserves a sweet reward. Order a hand-decorated cake in the colors of their alma mater, or if you want something a little smaller, get a dozen bite-sized Buntinis. They have 10 delicious flavors, each made with premium ingredients, baked on site, and crowned with their signature cream cheese frosting. Order yours today at nothingbundcakes.com. That's nothingbundcakes.com.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Let me get to Stephen in Euless. Stephen, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
Hi. I've been listening on my way home this evening, and you were talking about the sense of betrayal on the part of both Democrat and Republican voters regarding establishment politicians in both parties.
Yes.
And I've never been a Trump guy. I've always been a strong Cruz guy, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I get the attraction to Trump because once again today, where you have Mitch McConnell, orchestrating and blocking a Mike Lee amendment that would have protected small communities and suburbs from coercion on the part of HUD to take low income housing, and it's just one thing after another. Where it seems like McConnell, Boehner, the people who are running the Republican Party, just kind of stick it to us.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, they are in this for a political project, not to serve us. And that is madness. And it is madness. It's crazy stupidness.
I probably could have at one point got to the point where I would have said never Trump. Now I'm going to bite the bullet and vote for the guy because he at least there's a chance that it will put an end to this insanity on the part of McConnell and Boehner and their ilk.
Let's look at the irresistible opportunity here. There is an irresistible opportunity, Stephen. And here it is. If you are Donald Trump, you have nailed this populism thing down. You have successfully done what defeats most populists. You have been able to define that the political class everywhere, not just Republicans, not just Democrats, but the political class, the body politic, has malfunctioned to the point that we don't need them anymore. And get a load of this. If Donald Trump gets elected, right? If Donald Trump gets elected, what about all the Republican heavyweights, Jeb Bush, the Bush family, for example, that just said we're not going to have anything to do with it? What happens to them? What happens to them is they're out of the game. Period. All those people that say, Lindsey Graham, I'm not going to vote for Trump. Okay. You're completely finished. You and I, and everybody paying attention, are living through a renaissance of American politics. If Donald Trump is able to pull this off, it's an irresistible opportunity. Donald Trump gets to change American politics forever. Make no mistake. This is an historic run for Donald Trump. Because as soon as the media stops essentially trying to protect the political class, and the real history is beginning to be written, What's going to end up happening is that Donald Trump is going to be the guy that proved that you have to serve the American people. If you are in government, your job is to serve the American people, not your own interests or your party's interests. This has happened before in American politics, but I'm really excited by it, actually. Here's a guy who's running for president that says the government has treated the people incredibly badly. And he's correct. The left looks at its traditional voter base and tells them whatever they have to tell them to keep the D's being voted for. Straight D ticket. Do they do anything to deserve it? No. Is the age of enlightenment, is the age of information actually going to change that? Yes, and it is. There are people realizing the Democrat Party doesn't do anything except talk and spend money like it's going out of style. Meantime, on the Republican side, the Republican Party doesn't stand for anything because they will not abide Constitution-loving conservatives in their caucus. And there comes Donald Trump. Does he love the Constitution the way Ted Cruz does? I don't think so. Maybe, possibly. I don't know that he's actually thought about it like Ted Cruz has. Ted Cruz has the political solution to everything that we deal with. But Donald Trump has the popular solution to everything we're dealing with. That's dangerous to me. I want to see a constitutional republic. I want to see an America that is true to its founding documents, true to its charters, its promises, in writing to we, the people of the United States. That's what I want to see. I think it's dangerous to take the country any farther away from that. Now, Donald Trump made a very good impression on me with those 11 Supreme Court picks yesterday. A very good impression. Those are good. Those will do. If he is aware and if he is keeping his powder dry from a standpoint of, let's see how many of these people I can convince to vote for me, then what we might see is we might see the Donald Trump that can make history. The American Oliver Cromwell. I don't know that it will happen, but I know that there are a lot of people on both sides of the political aisle that are going to vote for Donald Trump. When was the last time you heard about that? It's been a long time. I very much like Jason Chaffetz. He is an American that gets it. He's an American politician that understands that you have to serve the American public. He is the chairman of the top House investigative panel, the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. He has introduced a measure to censure IRS Commissioner John Koskinen, remove him from office, and take away his pension. That's the latest bid by Republicans to pressure him into being more cooperative in their probe of the 2013 IRS targeting scandal. John Koskinen needs to cooperate with that. He needs to take a bullet for the United States of America. The number one most hideous abuse of we the people has been the IRS in 2013 targeting conservative groups and suppressing the political opposition through taxation. I can't tell you how incredibly important it is that that gets nipped in the bud. That has got to stop. You cannot use the EPA to screw up somebody's life for the sake of politics. Remember that Wyoming rancher that built a lake on his own property? He was being fined $37,500 a day by the EPA. Finally, a judge said, no, you're not. Threw the case out, sent the IRS packing. Great. I'm sorry, the IRS. Sent the EPA packing. That's what has to happen with the IRS now. We have to have a flat income tax. Gets rid of the IRS. The only part of the IRS that we need is the part of the IRS that can read a postcard, add up the numbers and say, yep, you're good. That's all we have to have. We don't have to have somebody that sits around and tries to figure out whether or not they should actually use email because they don't want to be hauled in front of a House committee to try to explain why they wrote this email on that particular day about this particular subject. If it's a flat tax, it's pretty simple. The testimony looks like this. How much money did you make, Mr. Wells? $10,000. How much taxes did you pay? I paid $1,400. There you go. See, and that's the way we do this. But here's another reason why this isn't going to work. You see, if indeed John Koskinen is removed from office without a pension, that starts what we call a precedent. You know what that precedent is? Hitting the pensions of miscreant public servants. Now, do we need to be able to do that? Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. Because there really isn't any other way to keep these people from doing their unconstitutional work. But if you take John Koskinen and you take away his pension, who's going to stop you and me and anybody else from coming up with the concept that if you were a congressman or if you were a senator and you voted for, say, for example, a national budget that was in deficit, you're guilty of embezzlement and you lose a portion of your pension? That would stop this mess. We don't have that capability. Guess who has to vote on whether or not we have that capability? Well, the people that would be fined through their pensions. So when you're thinking about the Article 5 Convention of the States, one of those amendments needs to be the states reserve the right, the people reserve the right to fine through process of withholding of pensions congressmen and senators and even the United States president, because we don't have any other way except for impeachment to get to the president. But I tell you what, you take $100,000 a year off of him for 5 years for the mistakes he made in office. And we might have a different government. I'm not sure. But something has to get these bureaucrats' attention. A censure would do it. Chafis is trying to get Koskinen to resign. And if he doesn't resign, he's going to attempt to remove him for what he calls an alleged pattern of conduct inconsistent with the trust and confidence placed in him as an officer of the United States. If censured, Koskinen, who became the commissioner in 2013, would also forfeit his government pension and other federal benefits. House Republicans are upset with the way they consider Koskinen's failure to cooperate with their investigation of Lois Lerner. She and other IRS officials targeted for additional scrutiny conservative groups seeking tax-exempt status, thereby oppressing the political opposition. That's Communist Party stuff. That's pure government thuggery. And we have to do something to punish somebody for this. Chaffetz said, I guess it was yesterday, he cited a long list of grievances calling for the censure, including Koskinen allegedly lying under oath, allowing key evidence to be destroyed by failing to comply with a subpoena, and not preserving backup computer tapes that contained as many as 24,000 missing Lois Lerner emails, allegedly destroyed by a computer malfunction. Koskinen must be held accountable for this misconduct. I am committed to using every tool at my disposal to hold Mr. Koskinen responsible for these offenses. I certainly hope that Chaffetz is successful. But if Chaffetz is successful and suddenly government pensions come into play, it could be either very, very, very good for the United States or very, very, very bad. But I certainly would like to be able to get myself into somebody's pocket for what I consider to be pure embezzlement. That's what I'd like to see. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call, 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for spring. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 800-891-9832 now to get your free flipping kit, and you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free meal, a smartphone watch, and USB flash drive loaded with Nick's powerful information as free gifts just for attending. Call 800-891-9832. 800-891-9832. Call now.
Are you ready for the vacation of a lifetime? Then get on board for the Storyteller Cruise with 660 AM The Answer. Join us October 23rd through the 30th with Matthew West. Along with pastor and Bible teacher Greg Laurie.
The highest calling of God is what God has called you to be. There is no higher thing. We're all called to do something.
Selah. Mr. Talkbox, and more. You and your family will travel aboard Holland America's New Amsterdam as we travel to Grand Turks, San Juan, St. Martin, and more. Best of all, enjoy music and inspiration from Matthew West and Pastor Greg Laurie. Space is very limited. Get details now at 660amtheanswer.com. We'll see you on the Storyteller Cruise from 660 AM, The Answer.
After a rough day on the range, a fella can get a bit saddle sore. That's why I use Blue Emu Original Super Strength Cream. It works fast and penetrates deep to soothe my tired muscles and joints.
And he don't stink.
And I'll tell you one thing, I had no idea this stuff was so darn handy.
Blue Emu Original Super Strength Cream. Available at all major retailers. It works fast for long-lasting soothing of tired muscles and joints.
And you won't stink.
Welcome to Staples. Staples guy, my company has like 7 different printers. How's your ink selection?
Behold, Staples Wall of Ink.
Just wow.
A huge selection of ink and toner guaranteed in stock.
Hello? Awesome.
If it's not, we take $10 off and ship it to you free.
Pinch me. I said pinch.
I heard you.
New low prices on ink and toner and an in-stock guarantee. Staples. Make more happen.
In-stock guarantee applies to in-store selection only. Out-of-stock ink and toner will be ordered from in-store kiosk with $10 discount plus free shipping applied. Limit 1 cartridge per customer.
660 AM, The Answer.
660amtheanswer.com.
The Wells Report.
A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue.
Of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Listen very closely to what U.S. District Judge Andrew Hannon has written. A federal judge has ordered annual ethics classes for Justice Department attorneys as a punishment for being intentionally deceptive during litigation over President Obama's executive immigration orders. Such conduct is certainly not worthy of any department whose name includes the words justice, said U.S. District Judge Andrew Hannon, writing in a withering order released today. Justice Department attorneys misled the court about when the Department of Homeland Security would begin implementing President Obama's executive order granting deferred action to illegal immigrants whose children are citizens. In doing so, they tricked the 26 states who filed the lawsuit into foregoing a request for a temporary restraining order, according to the judge. The facts of the deception are not in doubt, said Hannon. The DOJ has now admitted making the statements that clearly did not match the facts. It has admitted the lawyers who made these statements had knowledge of the truth when they made these misstatements. This court would be remiss if it left such unseemly and unprofessional conduct unaddressed. As punishment, Justice Department attorneys who appear in any state or federal court within the 26 states that brought the lawsuits will have to undergo annual ethics training. At a minimum, this course or courses shall total at least 3 hours of ethics training per year. Good for Justice Hannon. He's a Texas man. Yeah. Again, Texas teaching Americans how to be Americans, even DOJ lawyers. I like it. This is the Wells Report.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote. Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-269-2700. 800-269-2700. 800-269-2700.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details.
Testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Former NBC News anchor Tom Brokaw called those who fought and won World War II the greatest generation. Nothing any journalist has ever said, at least in my lifetime, was more accurate. And nothing that has been said by a group of people have been proved. And let me try this one more time. This is the Wells Report. Hi, Jon-David Wells joining you on a very special day, Memorial Day, and I thank you very much for being a part of this broadcast. I also thank somebody who is joining us, someone Tom Brokaw called shoot. See, I didn't think about Tom Brokaw called. This is the Wells Report. Happy Memorial Day to you and yours on a day that is set aside for us to honor those who gave the full measure of devotion in giving us the United States of America. We start our broadcast today with someone who did not do that, but yet spent 27 years in the United States military. He's a World War II Pearl Harbor survivor. He's a man who Tom Brokaw called one of the greatest generation. Robert Tanner, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
Okay, you said we start our broadcast today. Do you want to keep that even though this is hour 2?
I thought you said this was the beginning hour 1, segment 1.
No, I said this is segment 1.
Okay, let's try it again.
No, you don't have to try it again. Just tell me if you want to keep that. I'll edit it out.
No, I don't. Okay, you can edit it out?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here we go, 2:22 and closed. This is the Wells Report, Memorial Day in progress, and so is this broadcast, a very special one, as we remember those who gave the full measure of devotion to those of us for our country and the continued operation thereof. The Veterans Administration has been nothing short of horrifically terrible in the time that you and I have been paying attention to it for the last, 5-10 years. The downward slide continued as Congress gave veterans the right to discuss medical marijuana as a treatment option with their Veterans Affairs doctors in states where it's legal. The House and Senate approved bills that include amendments forcing the VA to lift restrictions that prohibit doctors from talking about medical marijuana or recommending it to their veteran patients. The simple case of the matter is that marijuana is not a medicine. Marijuana will hasten the deaths of some of these veterans, and somewhere in the future, we will all sit down and we'll say, that was really a mistake. That cost a lot of veterans their lives. And that is exactly what's going to happen. At best, marijuana will mask sincere and profound symptoms that doctors will need to use. I'm not talking about necessarily VA doctors. I'm talking about real doctors. Those symptoms that real doctors use to provide an opportunity to save someone's life. Instead of having them be so high, they really don't care whether their lives are saved. This is the horrifying terribleness of where we find the VA today. If medical marijuana was as wonderful a panacea as all these potheads are saying it is, then believe me, we would see a lot more of it in real pharmaceutical pursuits. And we don't. This is a bad deal. And once again, where do you find the most bad deals? Why, at the foot of a VA bureaucrat. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
This is Eric Metaxas. One of my most cherished possessions is my honorary doctorate from Liberty University. You're probably familiar with Liberty, the world's largest Christian university, founded in 1971 by the late Dr. Jerry Falwell. What you might not know is that Liberty University also has the country's largest private nonprofit online university. Today, over...
Okay, say this again.
Today on Memorial Day,
Uh-huh.
join the revolution. Call Patriot Mobile today at...
Today on Memorial Day, join the revolution. Call Patriot Mobile at... At 1-800-A-PATRIOT.
50 and say the keywords Liberty University. Discover how affordable and flexible a Liberty education can be. Dial pound 250 now and say the keywords Liberty University.
Attention business owners in need of cash. Business owners are finally able to get the cash they need to fund their business. Yes, you heard that right. If you've been in business for at least a year and deposit over $15K monthly in your business account, you could qualify for up to $100,000 or more in as little as 24 hours. Just call 1-800-567-1998. Equity's amazing new Get Cash for Your Business program is so effective, it virtually eliminates the need to look for any more capital. Business owners nationwide are receiving the money they need now to help grow their business, hire new employees, purchase equipment, or any other business reason with no restrictions. But hurry, this program won't last forever. Again, if you've been in business for over 1 year and deposit $15K or more into your business bank account, you could get up to $100,000 or more in as little as 24 hours. Call 1-800-567-1998. That's 1-800-567-1998. 1-800-567-1998.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Let Nothing Bundt Cakes help make your commencement celebration a one-of-a-kind. After all their hard work, your graduate deserves a sweet reward. Order a hand-decorated cake in the colors of their alma mater, or if you want something a little smaller, get a dozen bite-sized buntinis. They have 10 delicious flavors, each made with premium ingredients, baked on site, and crowned with their signature cream cheese frosting. Order yours today at nothingbundcakes.com. That's nothingbundcakes.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Zero Res. Spring cleaning does not start till you call them. Come on, 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, $33 a room. Fantastic carpet cleaning special. They'll clean 100 square feet of tile for free for you. They'll give you 2 free passes to any of the 5 DFW Hawaiian Falls water parks just for getting your carpets cleaned with Zero Res. So let's get it done right. Air duct cleaning, drapery, upholsteries, they do it all. Zero Res, 214-37-CLEAN. Give them a call today. Spring cleaning begins with Zero Res, 214-37-CLEAN.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show.
Mornings 7 to 10
on 660 AM. The Answer.
Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state,
and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I reached out to Glenn Harlan Reynolds today. Do you know who he is? Glenn Harlan Reynolds. He's quite a guy. He's a University of Tennessee law professor. He's the author of The New School, How the Information Age Will Save American Education from Itself. Okay. I don't know whether that's the case, but it is an intriguing prospect. Anyway, the other thing that was intriguing in USA Today today was Glenn Reynolds and his article that says, "Don't be a sucker for socialism." You need to know this. So if you happen to be a millennial kid in college, cuddle up around the radio right this minute and listen to your Uncle John. Because I want you to get this. This is important stuff here. I was wondering when somebody was going to jump into this, and thankfully, Glenn Reynolds has done it. It's a common misconception that socialism is about helping poor people. Actually, what socialism does is create poor people and keep them poor, and that's not by accident. Under capitalism, rich people become powerful, but under socialism, powerful people become rich. When you look at a socialist country like Venezuela, you find that the rulers are fabulously wealthy, even as the ordinary citizenry deal with empty supermarket shelves, electricity rationing, and on and on. The daughter of Venezuela's former socialist ruler, Hugo Chavez, is the richest individual in Venezuela. She's worth billions of dollars. This according to the Miami-based Diario Las Americas. In Cuba, Fidel Castro reportedly has lived pretty much literally as a king, even as his subjects dwelt in poverty. In the old Soviet Union, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, as Hedrick Smith reported in his The Russians, party big shots had lavish country houses called dachas and apartments in town stocked with hand-polished fresh fruit, even as the common people stood in line for hours at state-run stores in the hopes of getting staple foods. There's always a lot of talk about free health care. It's generally substandard for the masses and fancy for the elite. Although, the one thing that I thought was very, very interesting, you remember a guy named Leonid Brezhnev? If you don't remember socialism, you're not going to remember Leonid Brezhnev. Brezhnev needed heart surgery. He came to America. Why? The simple Soviet era Russian peasant did not get the kind of health care the people at the top got. In the old Soviet Union, the new communist nobility, whose positions and influence seemed to run in families somehow, were called the nomenclatura, from the Latin word for a list of names. Despite all the talk about equality, they generally did a lot better than people that didn't have the right connections. Dissident Milovan Djilas referred to these managers and apparatchiks, another Soviet era word, as the new class, where socialist equality was supposed to eliminate the distinction between exploited workers and peasants and their capitalist exploiters. It instead produced a new distinction between exploited workers and peasants and their new class socialist oppressors. That is exactly what Bernie Sanders is trying to perpetrate on the United States, and he knows it. George Orwell explained the phenomenon in his Animal Farm many decades ago, but people keep falling for it, like Ponzi schemes. Socialism is an evergreen form of fraud, egged on by suckers eager to believe the lies hucksters tell them. Which, in the elegant words of Glenn Reynolds, brings us to Bernie Sanders. The Washington Post ran a piece originally entitled "Bernie Sanders' Plans have surprisingly small benefits for America's poorest people." Among other things, it noted that in general, though, Sanders' health care plan would benefit affluent households more than it would poorer ones. Likewise, a paper from the left-leaning Brookings Institution noted that the biggest beneficiaries of Bernie's free college proposal would be rich kids. Families from the top half of the income distribution would receive 24% more in dollar value from eliminating tuition than students from the lower half of the income distribution. Well, America isn't socialist, though these days it's not really capitalist either. If by capitalist you mean a free market economy without much government direction. But we do have our own new class, and those people tend to be Bernie supporters. America's new class isn't super rich. They tend to donate to Hillary Clinton. It's the upper middle class employees of nonprofits, universities, and government agencies. They benefit twice from the kinds of programs that Bernie supports. Often they're employed to administer them or receive funds for providing services. Think college administrators who, unsurprisingly, heavily support both Bernie and Hillary. And then they also receive benefits because their kids are more likely to go to college than, say, a Kroger cashier. If we ever wind up with government-run health care, ask yourself who will get the hip replacement first, a woman who works as a cashier at Kroger or a senior bureaucrat at the Department of Health and Human Services. That's how this happens. That's how socialism works. It is a country club for government bureaucrats. Higher up the political scale, of course, the powerful really do become rich. Bill and Hillary Clinton are likely worth about $45 million. This according to Forbes. They are paid a lot for boring speeches given to people who are really just buying influence. But at least in America, becoming powerful isn't the only way to become rich. Under socialism, you are either powerful or you're poor. But poverty isn't a byproduct of socialism, it's a requirement, as illustrated by Cato Institute analyst Juan Carlos Hidalgo's report concerning Venezuela. A couple of years ago, the then ministers of education admitted the aim of the regime's policies was not to take people out of poverty so they become middle class and then turned into escualidos. That's a derogatory term to denote opposition members. In other words, the government wanted grateful, dependent voters, not prosperous Venezuelans. As the Rainmakers sang back in the 1980s, they'll turn us into beggars because they're easier to please. There we go. That's socialism in a nutshell. The equality talk, that's just for the suckers. Don't be a sucker. There's another article today. What's socialism, Dad? It's in the Wall Street Journal. Written by Brett Stevens. Noah, my 10-year-old son, was reading over my shoulder a powerful story about the state of medicine in Venezuela by Nick Casey in Sunday's New York Times. That was horrific, by the way. Did you see that article in the New York Times? There was a poor man in an operating theater with blood all over the floor, and just, it was unbelievable. We scrolled through the images of filthy operating rooms, broken incubators, desperate patients lying in pools of blood, dying for lack of basic things like antibiotics. Dad, why are hospitals like this? Socialism. What's socialism? I told him it's an economic system which the government seizes and runs industries, sets prices for goods, otherwise dictates what you can and cannot do with your money, and therefore your life. He received my answer with the abstracted interest you'd expect if I had described the atmospheric conditions on Uranus. Here's what I wish I had said. Socialism is a mental poison that leads to human misery of the sort you see in these wretched pictures. The lesson seems all the more necessary when discredited ideologies are finding new champions in high places. When Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez died in 2013, an obscure UK parliamentarian tweeted, "Thanks, Hugo Chavez, for showing that the poor matter and that wealth can be shared. He made massive contributions to Venezuela and a very wide world." The parliamentarian was Jeremy Corbyn, now leader of the Labour Party. Let's not stop with Mr. Corbyn. In its day, Chavismo found champions, apologists, and useful idiots among influential political figures and supposed thought leaders. In Massachusetts, they were Joseph P. Kennedy and Representative Bill Delahunt, who arranged propaganda coups for the strongman by agreeing to purchase discounted Venezuelan heating oil for U.S. consumers. The Nation editor Katrina vanden Heuvel extolled Chavez for defying the Bush administration and offering an innovative four-point program to renew and reform the UN. Oh, yeah. Nothing like a good socialist reforming the UN. Up north, Naomi Klein, Canada's second most unpleasant export, treated Chavez as heroically leading the resistance to the forces of dreaded neoliberalism. Jimmy Carter mourned Chavez for his bold assertion of autonomy and independence for Latin American governments and for his formidable communication skills and personal connection with supporters in his country and abroad to whom he gave hope and empowerment. Oh, sure. There are lesser names to add to this roll call of dishonor. Michael Moore, Sean Penn, you get the point. Democratic socialism had no shortage of prominent Western cheerleaders as it set Venezuela on the road to hyperinflation, hypercriminality, water shortages, beer shortages, electricity blackouts, political repression, national collapse. Chavez and his successor, Nicolas Maduro, gained prestige and legitimacy from these paladins of the left. They are complicit in Venezuela's agony. And so to the U.S. election, specifically the resolutely undead presidential candidate of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. The Sanders' campaign is no stranger to accusations that its brand of leftism is cut from the same cloth that produced Chavismo. Yesterday, one of Hillary Clinton's most prominent super PACs attacked our campaign pretty viciously, said Mr. Sanders. They tried to link me to a dead communist dictator. The senator protests too much. As mayor of Burlington, Vermont in the 80s, he boasted of conducting his own foreign policy, including sister city relationships with Puerto Cabezas in Nicaragua and Yaroslavl in the Soviet Union. On a 1985 trip to Nicaragua, he lavished praise on Daniel Ortega's communist regime, Chavismo's older cousin. In terms of healthcare, in terms of education, in terms of land reform, nobody denies the Sandinistas are making significant progress in those areas, then Mayor Sanders told one interviewer in 1985. And I think people understand that, and I think the people of Nicaragua, the poor people, respect that. If Mr. Sanders ever rethought or recanted those views, I'm not aware of it. What's socialism, Dad? I like what Brett Stevens said. Yeah. Socialism is a mental poison that leads to human misery of the sort you see in these wretched photographs. There's more. Bernie Sanders routinely quotes the joys of Scandinavian socialism. What's the truth of that? Do you have any idea? You will in just a minute. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
We all have stuff around the house that starts to get in the way. Hi, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Ulrich Barn Builders, specialists in finding a place for your stuff. Are you blowing money at a storage facility across town? Keep your stuff at your house in a beautiful storage shed or barn. Go to mybarns.com, mybarns.com. See the beautiful structures they can put up at your home so your stuff is right there, but it's out of the way. Clear out your garage and use that space for cars. Imagine that, especially during hailstorm season. Any season is the right time. For beautiful structures from Ulrich Barn Builders, go to mybarns.com. That is mybarns.com. Or call them at 817-736-1208 and tell them Mark Davis sent you. 817-736-1208. Tell them Mark Davis sent you. Barns, storage sheds, standalone garages, log cabins, playhouses, incredible. mybarns.com. Check them out. mybarns.com. That is mybarns.com.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. We're avail you candidates the inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes in Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 800-891-9832 now to get your free flipping kit, and you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free meal, a smartphone watch, and USB flash drive loaded with Nick's powerful information as free gifts just for attending. Call 800-891-9832. 800-891-9832. Call now.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Glines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
We've talked before, and it's great to talk to you again. Let me ask you a question. When you're going to those other breakfast places, are they making stuff in-house? You should ask them. Because at the Crossroads Diner, well, we make a lot of things in-house. You might ask, what? Well, let me help you. Well, there's the sticky buns, our homemade pancake mix, our whole wheat pancake mix, biscuits made in-house, sauces made from scratch, jams and jellies, our chorizo, Italian sausage, our quiche. I could go on and on. But really, you just need to ask the other guys, are they doing that? Because I don't think they are, but know that we are.
Crossroads Diner. Come eat with them at their new location, now at the corner of Preston and Campbell in the Kroger Shopping Center. Open for breakfast and lunch, Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit them on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. They'll be waiting for you.
This is Nolan Ryan for American Standard Air. Welcome back, summer. It's a hot one. Beat the heat with American Standard Air. Built in Texas for Texas families in hot Texas summers for almost 60 years. Comfort the way you like it.
Take it from Nolan. Summer is here and it's going to be a hot one. Is your air conditioner ready? North Texas Air can help. Russell Dean with North Texas Air can help you with a mean new machine from American Standard to keep you cool all summer long and lower your electricity bill.
For a limited time, get an additional $2,500 off from your utility provider, making comfort the way you like it that much easier.
And remember, all new systems from North Texas Air include a lifetime labor and workmanship warranty.
Special financing available, subject to credit approval. Call North Texas Air, your independent American Standard Air dealer, for details at 972-535-4858. That's 972-535-4858. Or visit northtxair.com.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. His name is Mark Davis, and he's going to show up on Friday morning with another Mark Davis radio broadcast. What do you got planned for us, Mark?
Hey, JD, happy Thursday night. Week's almost over, ready for the Friday morning show. It occurs to me, Donald Trump could cure cancer tomorrow, and his haters would be there online immediately. You can't believe his cancer cure? He's lying. He just did it to attract attention, and that's from the Republicans. You ever start to think fighting the Democrats may not actually be as hard? All righty, we'll wrap up the week with the top political news, overnight stories, stuff we need to keep track of, some weekend prep. Friday morning Mark Davis show. See y'all tomorrow, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m., The Answer.
Brett Stevens in the Wall Street Journal. What's socialism, Dad? Continues. The point is not what Mr. Sanders may have thought of the Sandinistas in the 1980s or the Chavistas in the past decade. It's that the type of socialism that the senator espouses, $18 trillion in additional government spending over the next decade, accusations that Wall Street is a criminal enterprise, and the continuous demonization of millionaires and billionaires, is not that much different from his South American cousins. Democratic socialism, whether Chavez's or Sanders's, is legalized theft in the name of the people against the vilified few. It is a battle against income inequality by means of collective immiseration. It is the subjugation of private enterprise and personal autonomy to government power. Mr. Sanders promises to pursue his aims on the Scandinavian model, as if that was a success, and if Americans were Scandinavians. It wasn't. We aren't. Bernie's way paves the same road to serfdom that socialism does everywhere. That's a fact Americans might have learned after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989. We just didn't. Take the time to tell your kids what socialism is and does before they feel the burn. And then there's this. Scandinavian unexceptionalism number 8, the third way model, a colossal failure. Sweden is often used in my country as an argument for why socialism works. This is roughly what many people abroad have told me after reading Scandinavian unexceptionalism. In previous columns for CapX, I have argued for why Sweden and other Nordic countries are not the exception from the laws of economics, wherein high taxes hinder economic development. However, socialism is something different than the current economic policy in the Nordics. Based on combining free markets with high taxes and large welfare states. Socialism is about giving government control over the economy as a whole. It's worth knowing that Sweden has indeed experimented with socialism. However, it proved such a colossal failure that few, even in the left today, view the memory as anything positive. A common notion is that particularly Sweden and to some extent other Nordic nations have embarked on a unique economic route, the third way. Third way politics refers to an alternative to free markets on one hand and communism on the other. Indeed, policies did steer sharply to the left during the late 1960s in Sweden. Not only did the overall tax burden rise, but the new system also discriminated heavily against individuals who owned businesses. As politics radicalized, the social democratic system began challenging the core of the free market model, entrepreneurship. Swedish economist Magnus Henriksson has concluded that the effective marginal tax rate plus the effective inflation that was levied on Swedish businesses reached more than 100% of profits at times. In 1980, a private person who owned a business could pay an effective marginal tax rate of 137% on returns on the capital raised by new share issues. There's more. It's next. This is the Wells Report.
20 plus years of unemployment. That's what retirement is, or should be. But imagine still working when you're 75 because you didn't have an exit plan for the next stock market crash. If you think your current plan has too much risk, or you're tired of paying hidden fees, listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Saturdays at 4 p.m. Rick and Kevin will tell you the truth about the financial world we live in. No one knows when the next correction will be. So listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Saturdays at 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. You and I both know that the warmer, wetter seasons in Texas can give us real foundation problems. Wet spells, dry spells. Let me put you in touch with Abacus Foundation Repair if you even think you've got any kind of foundation problem. This is what I did. I called them. You'll be glad you did too. At 972-406-9000. Call the right people first. Abacus Foundation Repair. 972-406-9000. Why are they the right people to call if you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or any kind of suspicion? Because they're going to map your house with the skill of an engineer. Look for possible causes like a plumbing issue so the problem doesn't come back. When they're done, you get a lifetime warranty. You can transfer free and clear to any new owner. It adds to your home's value. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus Foundation Repair, so give them a call. 972-406-9000. Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, abacusfoundationrepair.com. You'll be glad you called, so call 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
When you decide it's time to sell your home and buy a new one, that's serious business. It's much more than just an investment. So whether you're buying or selling, Bernie and Terry, Christian Group Real Estate with Keller Williams Realty can help. And did you know that when you buy or sell a home with Bernie and Terry Christian, they'll loan you their moving truck for free? That's right, for free. Moving is costly, and Bernie and Terry Christian will save you hundreds of dollars by simply calling them and letting them help you buy or sell a home. It's all a part of their client appreciation program, where they have many items they loan for free just for being their client. Why deal with the stress of buying or selling your home when you can let the Christian Group take care of all the real estate details for you? So if you're looking for personal attention, someone ready to listen with the skills and experience to help you tackle the complex real estate process, call Bernie and Terry Christian today at 817-269-1660. That's 817-269-1660. Or go to FortWorthHomesOnline.com. FortWorthHomesOnline.com.
Welcome back, Summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in the Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it. AmericanStandardAir.com.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit. costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
Geico presents Kathy, the Candid Real Estate Agent.
In the master bedroom, you'll see there's room for a king-size bed. And take a look at this walk-in closet. Now just imagine all these custom shelves and drawers turned upside down when a thief goes through them to take your entire vintage sneaker collection.
It's hard to know all that comes with buying a home or condo. That's why the Geico Insurance Agency makes getting covered for personal property loss and damage quick and easy. Call Geico today and see how much you could save on condo and homeowners insurance.
Hello, Alan Thicke here. Stop me if you've heard this one. Actually, don't. It's important. Last year, when people fell behind in their tax payments, they called Optima Tax Relief and took advantage of the Fresh Start initiative. Well, this year, Optima has raised the bar with their Protection Plus Clean Slate program. Pay the IRS the minimum amount, not a penny more. Optima, they're number one, A-rated at the Better Business Bureau. Optima Tax Relief is the one you need.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief.
Eric Nadell here for Savin European Sleep Systems. Why should your next mattress be a Savin organic mattress? It's more durable, no sags, no body impressions. It's more comfortable, a personalized fit for greater individualized comfort, and it's free of harmful chemicals. Designed for deeper, more restful sleep. I should know. I've slept on a Savin mattress for almost a decade. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Go to savin.com.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. We're talking about this supposed Nordic miracle that Bernie Sanders keeps bringing up. A business owner could pay an effective marginal tax rate of 137%. That's more money than he actually made. Yeah, that's the Swedish economic miracle. It means the individual would actually lose money by making a profit once the effect of both taxes and inflation on the original investment were taken into account. If the business had been financed by debt, the venture became profitable, albeit still facing a high tax rate. Tax-exempt institutions and insurance companies could face negative effect taxation, mainly due to the effect of high rates of inflation. Henriksen draws the conclusion that tax policies developed according to the vision of a market economy without individual capitalists and entrepreneurs. Not surprisingly, this absurd situation that resulted from a sharp left turn in economic policy markedly affected entrepreneurship. Sten Axelsson, another Swedish economist, has shown that the period between the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the First World War was a golden age for the founding of successful entrepreneurial firms in Sweden. After 1970, however, the establishment of new firms dropped significantly. The third way policies in Sweden were not merely about crowding out entrepreneurship by punishing high tax rates. They also culminated with the introduction of employee funds. At the beginning of the 1980s, the idea was to confiscate part of company profits and use them to buy shares, which in turn would be part of the funds controlled by labor unions. In effect, the system was designed to gradually transform the ownership of private companies to the unions, a soft evolution towards socialism. Although the system was abolished before it could turn Sweden into a socialist economy, it did manage to drive the founders of IKEA, Tetra Pak, H&M, and other highly successful firms out of the country. Third way policies are often upheld as the normal state of Swedish policies. In reality, one can better understand these policies as a social experiment with poor outcomes in terms of stagnating growth, which has, with time, been abandoned. Interestingly, even the leading social democrats at the time seems to have been aware of the damage the third way policies were doing. The most striking example relates to the introduction of employee funds. Kjell-Olof Feldt, one of Sweden's leading social democrats through history, and at times the finance minister, had to debate the benefits of the funds in Parliament. But the minister was uneasy. During the debate, he was scrambling on a piece of paper for himself. A Swedish reporter took a photograph of the poem the minister had written down. Remarkably, it turned out the finance minister was anything but enthusiastic about the funds. In fact, he believed them to have a great negative impact for Sweden. Felt went as far as describing them with profanity. A loose translation of the poem is, "The employee funds are a blank, but now have dragged them all this way. Now they will be lifted, now they will be filled with every bigwig who have supported so much of us in our struggle. Now we don't have to go any more rounds until the whole of Sweden is full of funds." I guess it makes more sense in Swedish. Kjell-Olof Feldt is a good reason to be critical of the radical ideas championed and introduced by his own party. In October 8 of 1983, a few months before Feldt scribbled his famous poem, what is likely to have been the largest political demonstration in the country's history was arranged. 100,000 people marched against the employee funds. Although the Social Democrat leadership seems to have been aware that the funds were a bad idea, they had invested too much political prestige in the idea to step away from it. The funds were introduced in 1984 and later abolished following an election of center-right government in 1991. Not only was the confiscation of profits for funds stopped, the money previously gathered in the funds was transferred into pension savings and research foundations. Sweden chose to return to the path of market economics over that of socialism. The employee funds were the tip of the iceberg of destructive policies that introduced a third way period. Changes in regulation, taxation, and increased state involvement had reduced the growth potential of the previously dynamic Swedish economy. As late as 1975, Sweden was ranked as the fourth richest nation in the world, according to the OECD measures. The policy shift that occurred dramatically slowed down the growth rate. Sweden dropped to 13th in place, or 13th place in the mid-1990s. In 2014, following a period of recovery from the country's crisis and significant free market and tax reduction reforms that followed, Sweden has now risen to 8th. The famous Swedish economist Assar Lindbeck concluded in the late 1990s, if recent developments of the Swedish economic and social system continue, the Swedish model will turn out to have been a brief historic episode, an interlude lasting no more than about 3 decades, from the mid-1960s to the early 1990s. So far, he's been proven right. The failure of third-way policies is well known amongst academics and politicians in the country, and in turn can explain the enthusiasm for market reform in the country that they've experienced since the early 1990s. It is perhaps surprising how the myth of Sweden's success and as a socialist system lives on abroad, decades after the state control over the economy was rejected in the country itself. So what does this mean? What this means is Bernie Sanders is a liar. Bernie Sanders is a flim-flam man. And it's working. You combine Bernie Sanders, the flim-flam man, with the progressive inability for people to be able to truly describe the differences between men and women, and you describe a political, chaotic insanity that is enveloping America's political left. There is no other way to say it. There's no more elegant way of describing what we see. It's very simple. These people are nuts. Go up and ask any one of these people what the difference between a man and a woman is. What's the difference? What are the differences between men and women? The unbelievable intestinal torsion that will follow would be funny if it wasn't for the fact that these people were actually trying to make sense. This is what happens when you have too much time and not enough reality. This is what happens. Before you know it, you don't know which restroom to use. You say things like, transgender men are men. No, they're not. Transgender men are women pretending to be men. Transgender women are men pretending to be women. That is the reality. To say otherwise is pure insanity. It's nuttiness. These people are nutcases. I mean, when you screw up something like gender, what is left to screw up? I think I have a good idea. I think I have a good way of fixing this. Tell me where I run astray. Let's assume that what we can do is we can say that because milk is white, it is evil. And because gasoline, therefore, people should be drinking or using gasoline on their cereal in the morning instead of milk. Let's see how many of them sit down to a nice bowl of Captain Crunch drenched in high test. There are differences between apples and oranges, dogs and cats, men and women, the progressive left, and almost anybody that is anchored in reality. That is why our founding fathers realized that we, the people of the United States, needed to hold the lion's share of power in this country, which, by the way, we still do. And if you don't believe me, just ask Donald Trump. We are in a situation where there is nothing short of danger ahead if these people continue to get their own way. Because what comes after them getting their own way are people that ensure that their own way becomes the law. What am I talking about? Let me give you an example. Greeting customers as Mr. or Mrs., or not even using the supposed pronouns Z or Zer, could prove costly for New York City businesses under rules drafted by Mayor Bill de Blasio. This is the poster child for progressive anti-American governmental thuggery. The Gotham Mayor's Commission on Human Rights says entities that fail to address customers by their preferred gender pronouns and titles are in violation of the law and could be subject to penalties of up to $250,000. The commission issued a legal enforcement guidance for the New York City human rights law, which now requires employers and converted entities to use an individual's preferred name, pronoun, and title, regardless of the individual's sex assigned at birth, anatomy, gender, medical history, appearance, or the sex indicated on the individual's identification. The guidance issued in Denver is a part of a broader, the guidance issued in December, it'll be issued in Denver at some point, issued in December as part of a broader interpretation of the human rights law, notes that some people prefer pronouns that don't have masculine or feminine forms, including they, them, theirs, or Z and here, H-I-R. And I think that's probably her. So what's the difference between her, H-E-R, H-I-R. What's the difference? Do you know? Well, here, let me show you. I'm a professional. I can do this for you. H-I-R is pronounced her. H-E-R is pronounced her. See? Poof, just like that, $250,000 for New York. The former are plurals being drafted for the use in the singular, while the latter are among several alternative pronoun systems developed by academics and/or LGBT communities. It lists several examples of violations that could result in fines, including the intentional and repeated refusal to use an individual's preferred name, pronoun, or title. For example, repeatedly calling a transgender woman him or Mr. after she's made clear which pronouns and titles she uses, the guide says, will result in a civil fine. The maximum civil fine the commission may impose upon misgendering is $125,000, but when the violation is the result of willful, wanton, or malicious conduct, the maximum fine can double to $250,000. The guide says businesses can avoid penalties by creating a policy of asking everyone what their preferred gender pronoun is so that no individual is singled out for such questions, and by updating their system to allow all individuals to self-identify their names and genders. They should not limit options for identification for male and female only. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just not going to talk to them. I do have the right to remain silent, don't I? What do you suppose the fine's going to be for remaining silent? This is the Wells Report.
Hugh Hewitt says Donald Trump needs to do a few things to gain ground on Hillary.
I need a plan for the Navy, and I need a young, dynamic conservative for the vice president. I saw speculation about Newt Gingrich. I suppose Trump-Gingrich could win if we quickly pass a constitutional amendment limiting voting to people over the age of 65. No, we really do need someone under the age of 50. Mostly, I need those tax returns.
The Hugh Hewitt Show, weekday mornings at 5, right before Mark Davis at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. Of all Barack Obama's reckless policy initiatives, none has shown more contempt for common sense and rule of law than the new bullying on transgender bathrooms. Department of Education guidelines threaten to cut off federal funds to school districts that don't allow children to enter washrooms, showers, or changing rooms that conform to their gender identity, regardless of biological status and with no medical certification required. This policy tramples the Constitution with no basis in either legislation or court decisions, and it rests entirely on executive whim. It shatters all local control of the most private, intimate aspect of student life. The feds won't even allow the direction of transgendered students to specially designated unisex or single-use bathrooms. Officials in Texas, North Carolina, and other states are right to resist this outrageous federal power grab, and all conservatives should support their principled stand. I'm Michael Medved.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a real estate investor association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, obtain no money, no credit financing, meet local buyers, sellers, and investing partners, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitch man. Come network with local DFW area real just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. at the Embassy Suites by Hilton on Bass Pro Drive in Grapevine. And you can register to attend for free by calling 800-867-4028. This month's topic, top investor mistakes and how to avoid them. Call 800-867-4028. Write it down. That's 800-867-4028 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the DFW Real Estate Investor Association.
If these recent storms have given your roof a beating, call on Integrity Roofing to fix it right. Integrity Roofing Company is your trusted solution. When storms roll in, so do the fly-by-night companies. Protect yourself from these storm chasers and go with Integrity, a locally owned company who weathered these storms with you. Your home and livelihood is the most important thing you own. And because of that, you need a company with a name that you can rely on. A name like integrity. The storms this year have already handed out their fair share of damage, and more will be on the way. So contact Integrity Roofing today for a free roof evaluation. Go to integrityroofingcompany.com. That's integrityroofingcompany.com. And rest assured that your roof will be repaired by a dependable, reputable, and knowledgeable professional. integrityroofingcompany.com. Contact them today for your free roof evaluation before another storm comes through. Get a roof that will last and stand up to the elements. Integrity Roofing. Do it with integrity.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. You know, good health is a series of good decisions. Decisions to eat right, decisions to exercise more, decisions to go to Viascan of Las Colinas and find out regularly what's going on inside your body. Right now, do you have heart plaques or blockages that could be a signal of a heart attack about to happen? Do you have little tiny cancer spots going on that you don't even know about? Well, you ought to know about those. It's called early detection. And Viascan of Las Colinas is your early detection headquarters, saving lives and saving a bunch of money. I'm in there regularly getting my heart checked out, various vital organs. So ask them when you call them at 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840. The heart scan, looking for plaques and blockages. The body scan, looking for cancers. The carotid artery neck scan, looking for stroke risk. The virtual colonoscopy. They do it all at Viascan of Las Colinas. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840.
It's been called the greatest libertarian show on earth, attended by Donald Trump, Steve Forbes, Glenn Beck, and the most brilliant conservative minds today. It's Freedom Fest, July 13th through the 16th at the Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. This year, come hear Senator Rand Paul, author George Gilder, Judge Andrew Napolitano, and more. And don't miss your chance to win $25,000 in prizes organized by Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington. Register now at freedomfest.com and save $100 by using the code SALEM, all caps, at freedomfest.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. A group of 51 Muslim states have blocked 11 gay and transgender rights organizations from attending a meeting at the United Nations next month on ending AIDS, which sparked protests from the European Union, Canada, and the U.S., who say that the exclusion will only impede global progress in combating the HIV/AIDS pandemic. Egypt, a member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, wrote to the President of the UN General Assembly to object to the participation of the groups. The OIC also includes Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, Syria, and Iraq as member states. In Egypt's letter, a reason for the OIC's rejection of the groups was not specified. But Samantha Power, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, said the groups appeared to have blocked for their role. The groups appear to have been blocked for their role in LGBT advocacy. Given that transgender people are 49 times more likely to be living with HIV than the general population, their exclusion from the high-level meetings will only impede global progress in combating the HIV/AIDS pandemic, said Power in a letter to General Assembly President Mogans Lykoff. Well, since the United Nations is in New York, seems to me that what de Blasio needs to do is he needs to go and start fighting Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and of course Egypt. That ought to go over well, don't you think? This is the Wells Report.
If you've ever wondered what it would be like to experience the magnificent beauty of the Sistine Chapel, the historic Western Wall in Jerusalem, and the beauty of the Greek island of Santorini, all while sailing pristine waters on a 5-star cruise ship, your opportunity now awaits to discover for yourself cities of antiquity and the origins of culture and faith. A journey with meaning awaits you this fall on the footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise, September 22nd through October 9th. For more information and to register, visit 660amtheanswer.com.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called to a killer in plan. Easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. Call 1-800-990-6976.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-1843. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-1843. That's 1-800-700-1843. 1-800-700-1843.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. The search continues in the Mediterranean for Egypt Air Flight 804. The airliner disappeared Thursday morning en route from Paris to Cairo with 66 people on board.
They have made very clear that until this point, the plane is still considered missing.
GRN reporter Amina Ashraf in Cairo. The Egyptian authorities have yet to issue any official statement as to what happened. The FBI adding another name to its list of 10 most wanted criminals. Chicago native Luis Macedo is charged in connection with the 2009 killing of a 15-year-old boy.
He replaces the recently captured Brenda Delgado.
FBI Director James Comey says Macedo was a member of the Latin King street gang. The travel industry says an improvement in the economy and cheaper fuel prices expected to result in a major surge in highway travel this summer. According to AAA, 38 million people will travel for Memorial Day, the most since 2005. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for spring. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Built on the values of the free market and the spirit of entrepreneurship, Northwood University prepares future leaders for global free enterprise. Hey, Mark Davis, longtime fan of Northwood. Through Northwood University's experiential learning, students get hands-on experience and practical application. This includes everybody from undergrads in the adult degree program, graduate students in the DeVos Graduate School. Northwood faculty are business professionals, managers, and entrepreneurs within their fields of expertise. Northwood's specialty undergraduate business degrees offer rich experiences in accounting and finance, franchise management, healthcare management, and much more. Graduate programs include a distinctive case study-based MBA program and an online Master of Science program in organizational leadership. You can develop lifelong critical thinking skills, distinguish yourself in your career, drive change in the workplace, make your mark on a global free enterprise society. Earn your degree from Northwood University. Learn more at northwood.edu. That's northwood.edu.
This is an important message for all homeowners. Protect your home against termites and the expensive damage they can cause. Stay tuned for an important offer from Terminix. we're offering a free termite inspection to every homeowner who calls this special toll-free number, 1-800-200-6350. Terminix is the nation's leading provider of termite and pest control services, backed by more than 85 years' experience. We are your most effective solution for termite protection. We'll stop those damaging invaders in their tracks. We can also defend your home against future invasions and the damage they may cause with our ultimate protection guarantee. If they come back, so will we. Now is the time to defend your home before termites start causing expensive damage. It's your home, not theirs. So call Terminix today for a free termite inspection. 1-800-200-6350. That's 1-800-200-6350.
Ultimate protection guarantee not available on every plan. Limitations apply. Call for details.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Just text the word trial to 313131 and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. And here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text trial to 313131 and get started for free right now. Again, text trial to 313131.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day trial. Cancel anytime.
When you decide it's time to sell your home and buy a new one, that's serious business. It's much more than just an investment. So whether you're buying or selling, Bernie and Terry, Christian Group Real Estate with Keller Williams Realty, can help. And did you know that when you buy or sell a home with Bernie and Terry Christian, they'll loan you their moving truck for free? That's right, for free. Moving is costly, and Bernie and Terry Christian will save you hundreds of dollars by simply calling them and letting them help you buy or sell a home. It's all part of their client appreciation program, where they have many items they loan for free just for being their client. Why deal with the stress of buying or selling your home when you can let the Christian Group take care of all the real estate details for you? So if you're looking for personal attention, someone ready to listen with the skills and experience to help you tackle the complex real estate process, call Bernie and Terry Christian today at 817-269-1660. That's 817-269-1660, or go to FortWorthHomesOnline.com. FortWorthHomesOnline.com.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at ChristianPublishingGuide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. So, the Washington Post is doing its dead-level best to continue trying to widen the fracture of conservatives vis-a-vis Donald Trump. Trying to widen the fracture between Donald Trump and conservatives, the never Trump people. They're doing it through the process of simple propaganda. They've done it with their columnists. One, Robert Kagan, the other, Michael Gerson. Let me just point out the fecklessness of both of these articles. Robert Kagan has written this piece that is under a headline that says, "This is how fascism comes to America." Fascism? Really? Robert Kagan, by the way, is a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. He's no idiot. But why would he say something so puerile here? Why would he be so silly? Well, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to get Hillary Clinton elected. The Republican Party's attempt to treat Donald Trump as a normal political candidate would be laughable were it not so perilous to the Republic. If only he would mouth the party's conservative principles, all would be well. But of course, the entire Trump phenomenon has nothing to do with policy or ideology. It has nothing to do with the Republican Party either, except in its historic role as incubator of this singular threat to our democracy. Do you honestly believe that Donald Trump is a singular threat to the American democracy? This from a paper, and this essentially from a guy, Robert Kagan, who has lived in America ostensibly for the last 8 years, watching the Obama. What he's trying to do is he's trying to assign the singular threat to our democracy to Donald Trump. Seriously? Trump has transcended the party that produced him. No, Trump has exposed the party as being an anti-American group of people trying to do the Republican Party's business. His growing army of supporters no longer cares about the party. You know why? Because the Republican Party has made it absolutely obvious that it no longer cares about them. The Republican Party does not care about Americans. They don't care about American votes. If you don't believe me, go back and take a look at some of the things that were said regarding primary voting in the United States. Because the party did not immediately and fully embrace Trump because a dwindling number of its political and intellectual leaders still resist him, the party is regarded with suspicion and even hostility by Trump's followers. Their allegiance is to him and him alone. This is how you develop the fascist narrative. Their allegiance is to him. Yeah, they don't care what he stands for as long as it's him. What we've got here is a personality cult. These Trumpians, they are turned into sycophants. They're turned into, my God, fascist followers of a Svengali-like man from New York who will take the country to ruin. Oh! No, Robert, that's not the case. The simple case of the matter is the Republican Party got caught not giving a damn about Americans, and Americans decided that they didn't give a damn about the Republican Party. And what you're trying to do, Robert, is you're trying to mask the accountability so richly deserved by the Republican Party leadership. That is the problem. We are supposed to believe that Trump's support stems from economic stagnation or dislocation. Maybe some of it does. But what Trump offers his followers is not economic remedy. His proposals change daily. What he offers is an attitude, an aura of crude strength and machismo, a boasting disrespect for the niceties of the democratic culture that he claims and his followers believe has produced national weakness and incompetence. Yes, national weakness. Democracy is a source of national weakness and incompetence, which is why all the voters have exposed the national incompetence of the Republican Party. Well, yeah, you see, none of this holds up. You know, Robert, if you're going to write a column, honestly, your logic has to hold up for at least the first page. That's a basic. Trump's incoherent and contradictory utterances have one thing in common. They provoke and play on feelings of resentment and disdain, as opposed to those well-thinking ones that say the rich are responsible for all the evils in America, like Hillary says, and like Bernie says. Yeah. Feelings of resentment, disdain, intermingling with bits of fear, hatred, and anger. Yes, resentment that the Republican Party has completely and totally abandoned rank-and-file Republicans. Disdain for the attitude toward the hubris that would make the Republican Party completely abandon its own voters. Fear that the Republican Party has been practicing this treachery for longer than the regular rank and file of Americans believed. Hatred because that's the case, and anger because it's the case. His public discourse consists of attacking or ridiculing a wide range of others, Muslims, Hispanics, women, Chinese, Mexicans, Europeans, Arabs, immigrants, refugees, whom he depicts as either threats or objects of derision. His program, such as it is, consists chiefly of promises to get tough with foreigners and people of non-white complexion. Donald Trump wins the argument because Robert Kagan, is that his name? Yes, Robert Kagan has invoked race. In this, the 4th paragraph. The 4th paragraph, he's calling Trump a bigot. So not only is Trump a singular threat to our democracy, but he's also a damn bigot. He will deport them, bar them, get them to knuckle under, make them pay up, or make them shut up. No, the only people making anybody shut up are leftist progressives that don't want people to be able to say anything they believe as long as it's not the progressive orthodoxy. You see, the simple case of this is it's all crap. Robert, I'll ask you the question that I asked earlier today. There are 1,000 Muslim refugees standing in front of you. Which ones are the terrorists? Please do point them out for me. What do you mean you can't? You can't? You can't look at 1,000 Muslims and point out the terrorists? What does that mean? That means you have no idea which of those Muslims are terrorists. So what do? Do you let them in and hope for the best? That's what President Obama's doing. Do you agree with that? Or do you say until we vet these people, they're not coming in at all? That's what you do. The problem with these people wanting to come to America is not them. The problem with these people coming to America is that America can't vet them, can't make sure that they're not terrorists. And if the government can't make sure that they're not terrorists, and you can't make sure that they're not terrorists, why the hell are you accusing someone of bigotry for not letting them in? Hispanics have never had it so good in the United States. They don't have to follow the law. Illegal immigrants, they don't have to follow the law. They only have to say one magic word. If they get pulled over, they say profiling, and the cop lets them go. If they do get arrested, they go to ICE, and they say profiling, and ICE lets them go. These people need to quit complaining. They're skating through breakage of law that I would get thrown in jail for. Why? Well, because I'm an American citizen and therefore have absolutely no standing in the realities of American politics. Does that seem absurd to you? It's supposed to seem absurd to you, but it doesn't seem absurd to Robert Kagan. Who else? Women. Sure, Robert, how many women have you elevated to a high level in the Washington Post? You're one of the editors. How many females have you promoted? Well, Donald Trump has promoted about 1,000 more than that. Females into executive positions. Chinese. The Chinese government, as a matter of government policy, ignores worldwide copyright law and worldwide patents. So that would mean that you are criticizing Donald Trump for wanting to enforce worldwide patent and copyright law, which means that you are a flipping anarchist. He also says Mexicans, Hispanics, and Mexicans. Mexicans are able to come to the United States without benefit of national sanction and live as they choose. They don't have to pay any attention to the law. They can be deported multiple times. Sexual assault, rape, kidnapping, robbery, murder, drunk driving resulting in death. These people don't have to do anything of the kind. They don't have to live with the law. Then he says Europeans, Arabs, immigrants, refugees, their threats are objects of derision. They're not objects of derision. They're either breaking American law, living here illegally, breaking world law, or you're simply overstating your case for political effect. This is Robert Kagan, who's making a fortune trying to hang fascism and Donald Trump as a singular threat to our democracy. You know what this is? Melodramatic claptrap. That's what this is. You're listening to the Wells Report.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
We all know carrying a lot of credit card debt is a hassle. You're constantly managing multiple payments, and if you miss one, your interest rates may go up. Avant can help you take control.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes, you did. Here we go. This is the Wells Report. Thanks for joining us on Memorial Day. It means a lot to me that you'd spend some time on a day set aside to honor those who gave the full measure of devotion to give us the country in which we live. In point of fact, we're going to talk to a guy right this very moment who did not give the full measure of devotion. He did, however, give 27 years of his life to make sure that we have the country that we currently reside in. He is Robert Tanner. He's one of those who Tom Brokaw called the greatest generation. Robert Tanner, World War II Pearl Harbor survivor. Welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
Students around the world enjoy the same quality education as Liberty's residential students in Lynchburg, Virginia. Ranked consistently among the top 10 online universities because of their high retention and graduation rates, Liberty offers hundreds of degree programs. If you've always wanted to obtain your degree but thought it was impossible, check out Liberty's online programs. For more information, pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, and say the keywords Liberty University. Discover how affordable and flexible a Liberty education can be. Dial pound 250 now and say the keywords Liberty University.
Do you know the 5 crucial steps to take if your home is ever damaged by fire, water, or mold? Do you know the 5 mistakes to avoid? This is essential information to help protect your most valuable asset and your personal safety. It's all contained in a must-have free guide, Emergency Damage Control Tips from ServiceMaster Restore. For your free guide, text STEPS to 99000. When fire, water, or mold damage your home, the first steps you take could mean all the difference between a small cleanup and a costly, time-consuming restoration. With 60 years experience, ServiceMaster Restore is available to help 24/7, 365 days a year. We offer flood and fire restoration services for homes and businesses, and we'll be at your side helping every step of the way until your home is back to normal. We're ServiceMaster Restore. When you don't know what to do next, we do. For your helpful free guide, text STEPS to ServiceMaster Restore at 99000. Again, text STEPS to 99000.
Message and data rates may apply.
In the world of mattresses, personalized comfort matters. Your body needs a mattress that will fit your unique physical needs, so a personalized fit means less back and neck pain and ultimately better sleep. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. 30 minutes with the pros at Savin. That's exactly what you get. A custom-tailored mattress and a more comfortable sleeping experience. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake. Go to savin.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with my friends at Zero Res. Spring cleaning does not start till you call them. Come on, 214-37-CLEAN. 214-37-CLEAN. $33 a room. Fantastic carpet cleaning special. They'll clean 100 square feet of tile for free for you. They'll give you 2 free passes to any of the 5 DFW Hawaiian Falls water parks just for getting your carpets cleaned with Zero Res. So let's get it done right. Air duct cleaning, drapery, upholsteries, they do it all. Zero Res, 214-37-CLEAN. Give them a call today. Spring cleaning begins with Zero Res, 214-37-CLEAN.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So we've already identified the Washington Post columnist Robert Kagan as writing another piece of melodramatic claptrap as he tries to assign Donald Trump with the title of a singular threat to our democracy. Ah! What an idiot. Kurt in Bedford, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hello, and I would like to expose Mr. Kagan as a 1938 propagandist in control of, trying to be in control of one newspaper. The Washington Post is a defunct rag. It was bought for $1 to make it official by, I believe, a billionaire by the name of Bezos.
Yes.
That became his political propaganda machine to spew out all the stuff that they put out. Nobody reads the Washington Post. Nobody cares about the Washington Post. Fox cites the Washington Post many times during the course of a day, and I'm glad that you expose them. They're no more a legitimate news organization than the New York Times is, and people should stop paying attention as soon as someone knows that the source is from the New York Times or the Washington Post. This isn't the grand old lady, and this isn't the Washington Post of yesteryear that exposed Watergate, which was a complete sham in its own self. You need to study that on your own. And Bob Woodward is not the stellar journalist, investigative reporter that everybody holds him up to be. He's a propagandist as well.
I agree. 100%. Thanks. Appreciate your time. Perfect analysis. These people are impaling themselves on their own petards. They will destroy where they eat. Michael Gerson has written something that is equally as inflammatorily stupid. Conservatives make a deal with the devil. In the category of credit where credit is due, Donald Trump has been exactly right in one important respect. He attacked the Republican establishment as low-energy, cowering weaklings. Now Republican leaders are lining up to surrender to him like low-energy, cowering weaklings. The capitulation has justified the accusation. It would be impolite to name names, so I should not mention the former Texas Governor Rick Perry, who now angles for Trump's vice presidential nod, once said he offers a barking carnival act that can best be described as Trumpism, a toxic mix of demagoguery, mean-spiritedness, and nonsense that will lead the Republican Party to perdition if pursued. Let no one be mistaken. Donald Trump's candidacy is a cancer on conservatism. It must be clearly diagnosed, excised, and discarded. I should resist the temptation to recall how Representative Peter King, who now reluctantly backs Trump, once asserted that he is not fit to be president morally or intellectually. Singling out individuals is unfair in so great a company, which is why Michael Gerson decided to single out Rick Perry. Many in the House GOP leadership and caucus have urged Speaker Paul D. Ryan to get over it and endorse the presumptive Republican nominee. It's humorous, in a sad, bitter, tragic sort of way, to see the Republican Party, the Republican leaders, and some conservative commentators try to forget or minimize Trump's history of odious proposals and statements. The arguments seem to be, I say tomato, you say Mexican immigrants are rapists. What's the big difference? There's more. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Having financial independence and wealth empowerment is the American dream. Learn what the wealthy know, get strong returns, and never lose your principal. That's the Heroes Talk Radio way. Learn about the secrets to planning a tax-free retirement income. Listen every Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 5 p.m. for Heroes Talk Radio, right here on 660 AM The Answer. You can also call them now, 866-544-7755. That's 866-544-7755.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. Of all Barack Obama's reckless policy initiatives, none has shown more contempt for common sense and rule of law than the new bullying on transgender bathrooms. Department of Education guidelines threaten to cut off federal funds to school districts that don't allow children to enter washroom, showers, or changing rooms that conform to their gender identity, regardless of biological status and with no medical certification required. This policy tramples the Constitution with no basis in either legislation or court decisions, and it rests entirely on executive whim. It shatters all local control of the most private, intimate aspect of student life. The feds won't even allow the direction of transgendered students to specially designated unisex or single-use bathrooms. Officials in Texas, North Carolina, and other states are right to resist this outrageous federal power grab, and all conservatives should support their principled stand. I'm Michael Medved.
Welcome back, Summer. It's a hot one. This is Nolan Ryan. Go with the pros who know how to beat Texas heat. American Standard Air. Born and bred in Lone Star State. That's American Standard. Comfort the way you like it. AmericanStandardAir.com.
That's right, Nolan. And your trusted independent American Standard dealer is Mathis Air and Heat. Why is that? Mathis Air has been serving you and your neighbors for over 20 years. They offer 24-hour emergency service and 100% financing for 60 months and 0% interest on a new system with approved credit. So make the call today for your free in-home estimate or $49 tune-up at 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4COOL. Or go to mathisair.com. That's mathisair.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months with a minimum purchase of $5,000. Call 1-888-534-6894 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchase is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
Are you a business owner who's jealous of some of the great commercials you hear right here on 660 AM The Answer? Do you feel a little left out when a clever commercial plays and you wish it was about you instead? Nothing's worse than hearing a catchy commercial from a competitor who is raking in new customers each day while you still aren't advertising on the radio. It's not too late. I can still help you. My name is Brad Ballard, and I work here at 660 AM The Answer. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and I can turn you into the company everyone wants to work with. That's 214-561-9116. It's much more affordable than you might think. Don't let another competitor pass you by. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and we'll get you on the radio right away. I'll meet with you personally to brainstorm the best message possible that will rise above the rest. It's time to grow your business and sound like one of the big boys. So don't wait. Call me at 214-561-9116.
Why are so many people turning to the Nutrimost system at Fat Loss DFW? I'll let my buddy Nick tell you.
Well, first of all, I've lost weight.
Yeah, you have.
31 pounds. Heather, I know you lost 36 pounds.
I have, and I did.
And that's awesome. But here's the best part. When you're done with the 40-day program, you're not taking supplements. You're not eating protein bars. Forget that packaged food.
Ugh, packaged food. What is that stuff anyway, dude?
I don't think it's food. And you don't have to eat it with Fat Loss DFW because their program works.
I'm Dr. Jimmy from Fat Loss DFW, and I love hearing things like this. People lose the weight, they lose the fat, they keep it off, and there's no weird maintenance program afterward. When you're done, you're done. You're lean, you're mean, you're healthy for life.
I'm telling you it works. So here's what you need to do. Make the decision right now to make the change. Pick up the phone, dial 844-801-THIN, 844-801-THIN, or go to the web. Look up fatlossdfw.com now.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, will fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yeah, buddy. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. How you doing? Yeah, good to have you here. We're discussing the stupidity of political science with Michael Gerson's stylings in the Washington Post. By the way, in case you're wondering, G. Gordon Liddy used to call this paper the Washington Compost. Science! Which I always thought was really funny. The Washington Compost. So anyway, yeah, this is really dumb stupidness that we have here. This is Michael Gerson discussing conservatives making a deal with the devil. Yeah, Trump, the devil. All this is taking place without apparently securing any concessions or guarantees from Trump himself. He knows that he can violate any Republican or conservative principle and still get a round of crisp salutes, even from his strongest opponents. This is the white flag of ideological surrender. What's the alternative there, Michael? What's the alternative? The alternative is a Hillary Clinton presidency. So are you grousing about that? You're grousing about the fact that Donald Trump may stand in the way of your progressive, anti-American thug paradise? I understand the short-term political calculation. Better to have Trump, who is ideologically unpredictable, make Supreme Court nominations than Hillary Clinton, who was reliably liberal. No, she is reliably secular, progressive, anti-American, thug-driven, rotten human being, in my view. Better to have Trump than rather than Clinton make all those plum executive branch appointments. Besides, if Trump is a liar, Clinton is a worse one. If Trump is a misogynist, well, consider Clinton's husband. This justification has a few flaws. The first is reductio ad Trumpism. If Clinton is the ultimate evil, who would be better than she is? How about Trump's ex-butler who threatened President Obama on Facebook? Yeah, there's nothing like real good dementia among the elderly to make fun of. How about Trump supporter Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty? Of course not. A Republican would angrily respond. A progressive president or a prospective president needs to be morally and intellectually fit for the office. He or she can't be guilty of demagoguery or mean-spiritedness or talk nonsense all the time. No, that's reserved for Washington Post commentators. But this is exactly the issue. Were Perry and King correct in their initial diagnoses of Trump? No, they were not, because they forgot that the people were still involved in the decision. And that's what all these elitists are writhing under in their anger and their gnashing of teeth. Those damn people, who the hell do they think they are? Cowgirl in Arlington, welcome to the Wells Report.
Well, thank you for the welcome, Mr. J.D. Wells. I'm asking you this. If we distill out of the whole Trump thing, his persona, his money, his hair, his apprentice, you're fired, from the really good things that he's saying, the border, ISIS, trade, balance, would he be able to fight the Clinton machine without his being Trump? I think it's an advantage. I'm not sure.
Well, of course it is. What Donald Trump has done, and he said it himself. He said it in the interview with Megyn Kelly. He said, look, if this doesn't work, then it was all a waste of time. He doesn't think that he would be where he is without what he has done, his willingness to say outrageous things.
Well, his wrecking ball to the U.S. and PC has been a tremendous value. I disagree with him.
Well, I mean, my situation is this. I think that what he has done has been a valuable service. Yes, tremendous service to the United States.
I'm glad we agree on that. We're beyond the cruising. Love you, Judy.
Well, no, it's not. It's not so much that. I mean, I still think that Cruz is a better candidate. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But I don't think that me standing here saying, "Oh my goodness, I don't have Cruz, so I'm not going to vote for Trump." I don't think that is American. I think that's the sound of a Democrat. I'm not going to vote for Trump. Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. Yes, you are. I'm going to vote for Ignoble Blastentucci. Ignoble Blastentucci. Who's he? Well, he's the carpet candidate. He's the carpet party candidate. Oh. What does he stand for? High-low shag? Uh-huh. Great. Is he going to win? No. Nobody knows who he is. But you're voting for him. Yep. Anybody but Trump. I'm not gonna violate my principles. Hell, do you ever hear Jon-David Wells who says that in matters of style, go with the currents, in matters of principle, stand like a rock. He quotes Thomas Jefferson all the time. Yeah. But what do you do if your principles are flawed? Hillary Clinton represents no doubts to we the people of the United States. She's a self-aggrandizing, narcissistic, secular, progressive, anti-American thug. If you don't believe me, just ask her a series of questions. Ms. Clinton, Ms. Clinton, yeah, what do you think of free speech? I think it's fine as long as you're not saying anything against me. Oh, so you think that opposition speech should be illegal? Well, it's not as simple as that. No, it really is as simple as that. You just don't want to get caught saying no. Or yes, I'm sorry. You don't want to get caught saying yes. Political speech that makes me look bad should be illegal. Yes, I agree. Oh, okay. Mike in Fort Worth, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to say that, I think, he's doing several things. He's bringing people from several different sides, and he's bringing them together. And perhaps maybe he's doing a little bit more because, to really bring America to be great again. I think that we need to bring the country together.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm trying to figure out what the benefit of not bringing the country together. I'm trying to figure out what that is. What's that benefit? Let's see. Then you become the divided and conquered. Then if you don't bring the country together, right? Yeah, real simple. Real simple. Look. All these people are bringing all this stuff up, in an effort to egg on conservatives to withhold their votes for Donald Trump so Hillary will win. That's all this is. And there are plenty of, quote, conservatives who are falling for it. They are. I have a name for those people. You want to know what it is? That's right. Democrats. Yeah. You can be a Democrat two ways. By casting a vote for a Democrat, or by casting a vote for someone besides a Democrat, but doesn't have a chance to win, thereby splitting the vote down for a Republican who could win otherwise. That makes you a Democrat. Okay? Simple, basic, straightforward, easy to understand. You have simply switched parties. This is a very simple concept, but it seems to elude a lot of people. William F. Buckley, perhaps the greatest communicator of conservative values ever, said you elect the most conservative candidate who can win. Who is that in this race? Nobody. Donald Trump is just exactly the same as Hillary Clinton. Well, he looks better in a pantsuit. No, Donald Trump is not just as bad as Hillary Clinton. That is just crap. Gobbledygookianism. That's what that is. Stop it. Just stop it now. Yeah. What you have to do is you have to say, hey, we are going to do our dead level best to make America better, not worse. Hillary will make America worse, not better. She does not agree with the First Amendment. She does not agree with religious freedom. She does not agree with free speech. She does not agree with Americans being able to own weapons, firearms. She doesn't think that it's a bad thing that the government listen to every phone call we make, every text we text, every email we send. She doesn't believe that anybody ought to be able to not testify against themselves except her. She doesn't believe in the rule of law. She doesn't believe in American national security. She doesn't believe in responsible handling of America's secrets. Why would anyone want her to be the president of the United States? Unless, of course, they want to see the United States badly damaged. If you want to badly damage America, sorry, I disagree with you. Fundamentally. If you believe, as I do, that all evil needs to flourish is for good men to stand around and do nothing, then by all means, take Tuesday off this November. Don't vote for Trump. My God. Don't vote for Trump. Even though he's the most conservative candidate who can win. Yeah, don't do that. No, what I want you to do is I want you to truculently I want you to truculently adhere to your dubious. Because if you call yourself a conservative or a Republican or a Tea Partier or whatever it is that you call yourself, and your conduct leads to the election of Hillary Clinton, you're none of those things. You're a moderate Republican, because only moderate Republicans enable Democrat victories. And that's what you're doing. And then my phone rang. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. This is not...
That stupid cricket.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? That was
What's that cricket doing in the studio?
That was my phone, wasn't it? It was my phone. I mean, nobody could possibly have decided to fire the cricket because I was making perfectly good sense there. I was. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Do you have something you want to say? Well, by all means, call me on the radio. I'll put you right on the air. We have a few minutes left, and I'll give them to you. 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report.
Mike Gallagher says people need to eat their crow and move on.
Don't underestimate the hurt feelings. People have painted themselves into a corner. They've got egg on their face, and pride is a powerful emotion. There's a lot of prideful people now who have to say, okay, I was wrong. Didn't think he'd get the nomination. Didn't think people would get behind him. He's got the nomination. People are behind him.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekday mornings at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a real estate investor association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, obtain no money, no credit financing, meet local buyers, sellers, and investing partners, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitch man. Come network with local DFW area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. at the Embassy Suites by Hilton on Bass Pro Drive in Grapevine. And you can register to attend for free by calling 800-867-4028. This month's topic, top investor mistakes and how to avoid them. Call 800-867-4028. Write it down. That's 800-867-4028 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the DFW Real Estate Investor Association.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. When I was at the most pain, I had been to 3 surgeons and 3 neurologists, and they told me that I could have a fulfilled life out of my wheelchair. When you have 3 doctors tell you you will never walk again, I had just about given up. He says, I'm pretty sure I can get you out of that wheelchair. I went, my first appointment was May 11th. On May 30th, I walked into the office on my own. No surgery, and it was amazing. If you're in any pain, please give Dr. Chad the chance to get you out of pain and to get you back on a normal life.
That just blesses me to hear that. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Call me, 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at genesisback.com.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Let me ask you a question. Where you been getting your fried yardbird on lately? I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's fried chicken. Well, at the diner, we do it a little bit different. Hand pounded, hand breaded, fried to order, and it comes with the best smooth, warm, creamy brie cheese. And then we top it with, oh my God, I can't even believe this, a tomato caper relish that is just out of this world. So if you've been eating fried yardbird somewhere else, come by the Crossroads Diner because my yardbird's the best.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with them at their new location, now at the corner of Preston and Campbell in the Kroger Shopping Center. Open for breakfast and lunch, Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit them on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. They'll be waiting for you.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL, all of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SE was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
What inspires you? Is it the view of a lakeside sunrise? Creating memories in a beautiful new home? Whatever inspires you, you'll find it at Inspiration. Inspiration is Dallas's newest master plan community, located 9 miles east of Central on Parker Road at Lake Lavon. New homes ready now from the 280s to 600s. Visit Inspiration during our grand opening and ask about inspiring incentives from select builders. InspirationTexas.com, another Huffine signature community.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Do you know who that was that called me on the telephone a moment ago?
Your mom?
Not my mom. It was Quentin Witherspoon. You know who Quentin... Yeah. Vicky knows who Quentin Witherspoon is. Quentin Witherspoon is the Witherspoon behind Witherspoon Distilleries. Do you know what Quentin Witherspoon does? He makes Cross Timbers single malt Texas whiskey. Do the words single malt ring a bell? Well, that's because some of the most expensive and some of the most carefully crafted spirits in the world are single malt whiskeys. Some from Scotland, some from Japan. But the number 3 single malt whiskey in the world comes from Quentin Witherspoon and Witherspoon Distillery. I went there the other day to get a bottle of it because I was going to gift it to someone that I really love.
Oh, thank you, Jon-David.
Wasn't you, it was me.
Thank you. So it wasn't me?
Anyway, yeah. So no, what ended up happening was they didn't have any, but they are going to have a new batch that is going to be available for Father's Day. So endeth the 3 plug. Love you, buddy. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicky Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. God bless you and yours. We'll see you another time soon for another edition of the Wells Report.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Saturday mornings at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. You know, good health is a series of good decisions. Decisions to eat right, decisions to exercise more, decisions to go to ViaScan of Las Colinas and find out regularly what's going on inside your body. Right now, do you have heart plaques or blockages that could be a signal of a heart attack about to happen? Do you have little tiny cancer spots going on that you don't even know about? Well, you ought to know about those. It's called early detection. And ViaScan of Las Colinas is your early detection headquarters, saving lives and saving a bunch of money. I'm in there regularly getting my heart checked out, various vital organs. So ask them when you call them at 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840. The heart scan, looking for plaques and blockages. The body scan, looking for cancers. The carotid artery neck scan, looking for stroke risk. The virtual colonoscopy. They do it all at ViaScan of Las Colinas, 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Just text the word trial to 313131 and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text TRIAL to 313131 and get started for free right now. Again, text TRIAL to 313131.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day trial. Cancel anytime.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio. I'm Rich Dennison. The search continues in the Mediterranean for the Egypt Air airliner, which disappeared Thursday morning on a flight from Paris to Cairo. GRN reporter Amina Ashraf's in Cairo and says the Egyptian civil aviation minister is urging the media not to speculate.
He has, however, also said that at this point, nothing is ruled out, including a terrorist attack on the plane.
There were 66 people aboard the aircraft. A Fox News poll revealing what voters care about most.
Nearly 40% of respondents said jobs and the economy are most important. Terrorism is next. Issues like education, healthcare, and social issues follow that.
Fox's Gernal Scott. There's been a shakeup at the San Francisco Police Department. Mayor Ed Lee has asked for and received the resignation of Chief Greg Seward. His departure follows racially charged incidents, 2 shootings, and an exchange of racist text messages by 3 officers. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Sean Hannity believes it's a good idea for Trump to hold on to his tax return.
It's going to look confusing, and it's going to be distorted and twisted by a media that's going to say, see, he didn't pay his fair share. He paid only 22% of his income in taxes because he used this loophole and that loophole. Well, that's the way you guys set it up. So I actually think Trump's smart not to release his taxes because there's no good that's going to come out of it.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Debbie Georgiadis. Liberals focus on income inequality, but that's just an outcome of the real problem, which is education inequality. This week, we'll talk with Senator Jim DeMint of Heritage Foundation and Stacey Hawk of Texas Public Policy Foundation about solutions that offer our poorest fellow citizens quality education. Join me on Ladies Can We Talk this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer or online at ladiescanwetalk.org. On Ladies Can We Talk, we talk truth about America.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. Of all Barack Obama's reckless policy initiatives, none has shown more contempt for common sense and rule of law than the new bullying on transgender bathrooms. Department of Education guidelines threaten to cut off federal funds to school districts that don't allow children to enter washrooms, showers, or changing rooms that conform to their gender identity, regardless of biological status and with no medical certification required. This policy tramples the Constitution with no basis in either legislation or court decisions, and it rests entirely on executive whim. It shatters all local control of the most private, intimate aspect of student life. The feds won't even allow the direction of transgendered students to specially designated unisex or single-use bathrooms. Officials in Texas, North Carolina, and other states are right to resist this outrageous federal power grab, and all conservatives should support their principled stand. I'm Michael Medved.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. If there's one thing that I could say is that Dr. Chad is one of the most wonderful people I have ever met. I'm going to cry because he has no idea how much he helped me and how much hope he gave me. I was at rock bottom. I was below rock bottom. Words cannot